What do the numbers really say about the Atlanta real estate market? So I've had conversations with a lot of y'all, and I'm hearing lots of opinions on the market, and I'm reading lots of articles about the real estate market. But what do the numbers actually say about the market? I want to go through these numbers and break them down with you today. So first of all, what about prices? Prices up, down, the same? Well, you may be interested to know that in February, prices went up. The median sales price in Atlanta from $375 up to $386. And yes, usually we do see an increase in prices seasonally because you might be like, well, hey, the price is down from last summer. The median price is down from last summer. The peak last summer was at 400,000, and now we're down at 386. Does that mean that prices are falling? The price of your house is falling? Well, first, this is median, not the price of your actual house. And secondly, we see this every year. 2018, 2019, 2020. We see that the median sales price is the highest in the summer, and it comes back down to the beginning of the year. So this is perfectly normal, and this drop is not out of the range of what we typically see from the summer peak down to the winter. What about supply and demand? I mean, we know that that's the biggest thing that controls prices is supply and demand. You don't have to have an economics degree to know that. Well, on the supply side, man, there is almost no supply. The number of new listings in February of this year are down 23% year over year and down from the number of new listings in January. We don't usually see that. Usually you see more and more houses come on the market as the spring goes. But this year we saw fewer new listings come on the market in February than we did in January, which means there's not a lot of supply out there. This is historically low supply, way lower than we saw at any point pre-COVID. Well, what about on the demand side? Well, on the demand side, there's a couple things you can see because closings, that's a lagging indicator, right? If by the time the transaction is completed, people went to see the house, they made the offer, they were under contract, they got the loan, now they finally closed. So the best thing to look at to see how much the current demand is showings. And yes, we can see how many showings are happening in the market and how many showings are happening per listing. And so as you look at that, the showings per listing, that went up from January to February from 8 to 9.4 showings per listing. So we had a good increase in showings per listing. This is down from last spring. Last spring, we had about 14 or 15 showings per listing. But still, historically, this is way above the number of showings per listings that we had in 2017, 2018, 2019, which were all solid markets. So in February, we saw the number of new houses for sale, and I say new just meaning not brand new construction, just houses that came on the market, go down. We saw the number of people seeing houses go up. What does that mean for prices? Supply is going down, demand is going up, prices went up. That to me looks like a market that is still really strong from a seller's standpoint. What about from a negotiation? How does this impact negotiation? The amount that the sellers are getting for each property? So relative to their list price last month, sellers got 99.6% of list price on average, almost 100%. Now, this is down from last year. I mean, at one point last spring in the biggest frenzy, we had 102.5%. So everything basically was going over asking price. And now we are seeing some negotiation. Sometimes people are coming off their price. Sometimes there are closing costs included. But I want y'all to see that this real estate market, if you're reading headlines about a national market or the market is crashing or anything like that, these numbers don't say that. These numbers say that the market is really healthy, that there's not a lot of supply, that demand is increasing, and that sellers are getting their asking price when they price it correctly. So don't be scared of the current market. The numbers say this is a good market on both sides. If we can help you evaluate your market specifically, we'd love to do so. Drop us a line like so many of you do, and we will see you guys again next week.